Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. No prayer too small. God hears them all.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. Let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You tried lifting the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening it. You then try to bang on the lid to maybe unsettle the dirt, so maybe somebody might notice and start digging their way down towards you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, there are people probably standing right near your grave. You just don't know that. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to defeat an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose and take something away that God had given you called life? With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person I just spoke about that went to their grave without seeking help. Instead, just pick up the phone and call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I will help you take your life back, for your life is gone. Folks, take off your slippers at night before you go to bed. But instead of putting them by the edge of your bed, stick them way under your bed. That way, in the morning when you wake up, you'll be forced to get to your knees and go and get those slippers. And while you're on your knees, utilize a thing I called knee mail, K-N-E-E mail. Knee mail is like email. It's only on your knees, and it's between you and God. It's from your lips to God's ears. Knee mail is a time where you want to ask God for guidance and direction, forgiveness and mercy. It's the time when you want to thank God for all the good things in your life, like your home, your clothing, your food, your health, and your relationship. Knee mail, K-N-E-E mail, is an email on your knees between you and God's ears. Ask God each and every morning, consistently and constantly, to help you throughout the day, to ask God for forgiveness and mercy each and every day, and you will notice that your life will start changing in a matter of time. It doesn't happen overnight. As committed as you are to God, God is committed to you. Knee mail, K-N-E-E mail. Put on those slippers now. Stand straight up and walk with God. Today I want to talk about 25 ways to help a fellow human being. A fellow human being being a person like you. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. The Dalai Lama wrote that. Too often the trend in our society is for people to be separated from from each other, I should say, to be cut off from the great mass of humanity, and by doing so, dehumanized a little bit more each step. Let me just turn my... Cars have taken us off the streets where it used to greet each other and stop to chat. Cubicles have taken away a bit of humanity in working, as have factories and even computers to some extent. Television has planted us firmly in our living rooms instead of out with the people that we care about. Even movie theaters, where many people get together, cut us off from true conversation because we're standing or staring in front of the big screen. And while I'm not railing against any of these inventions, don't get me wrong, except perhaps the cubicle, what we must guard against is the tendency of what individuality have us to focus on ourselves and exclude our fellow human beings. The tendency towards selfishness rather than giving, on helping ourselves rather than helping our other brothers and sisters in humanity, has to come to an end. I'm not saying we're all alike. You might be different, but it can happen, and if we're not careful, it will happen. So strike back against the selfishness and greed of modern world and help out a human being, a fellow human being, a brother and sister under God's eyes. Not next month, not next week, but today. Helping a fellow human being, while it can be inconvenient, has a few humble advantages. It makes you feel better about yourself. It connects you with another person, at least for the moment, if not for life. It improves the life of another, at least a little. It makes the world a better place one little step at a time. And if kindness is passed on, it can multiply and multiply. So take just a few steps today, take a few minutes today, and do kindness for another person. It can't be something small, like maybe starting just with a friendly smile, or something really big, which could be maybe mowing their lawn. Ask them to pay it forward. Give it to another person that you gave them, which didn't cost you one penny, and that's kindness. Put a smile on someone's face so they can put a smile on someone else's face. Don't know where to start? Here's an extremely incomplete category, or a list I should say, just to get you thinking. I'm sure you can come up with thousands more if you really, really want to think about. Start smiling and be friendly. Sometimes a simple little thing like that can put a smile and a warm feeling in someone else's heart and make them make their day a little better. They might then even do the same for others. Call a charity to volunteer. You don't have to do a soup kitchen or anything like that, but you can volunteer maybe by dropping off a meal to someone's house. Just look up the number, make the call, and make the appointment to volunteer sometime in the next month. It can be whatever charity you would like to have it be. Volunteering is one of the most amazing things you can do for another human being. Donate something you don't use, or a whole box of some things that you don't use. Drop them off at a charity. Others can put your clutter to good use. Make a donation. There are lots of ways to donate to charities online or in your local community. Instead of buying yourself a new gadget or an outfit, spend the money in a more positive way. Redirect gifts. Instead of having people give you birthday or Christmas gifts, ask them to donate gifts or money to certain charity of your choice. Stop to help. The next time you see someone pulled over with a flat tire or someone in need of help, stop and ask them, how can I help you? How can I put a smile on your face by assisting you? Sometimes all they need is that little push or use of your cell phone. That's so simple. Teach. Take the time to teach someone a skill that you know. This could be teaching your grandma to use email, teaching your child to ride a bike, teaching your coworker a valuable computer skill, teaching your spouse how to clean the darn toilet. Okay, that last one doesn't really count. Comfort someone in grief. Often a hug, a helpful hand, a kind word, a listening ear will go a long way with someone that has lost a loved one or has suffered a similar loss or tragedy. Help them take action. If someone in grief seems to be lost and doesn't know where to get help and how to get help, help them do something. It could be making a funeral arrangement, it could be making a doctor's appointment, it could be making phone calls. Don't do it yourself. Let them take action too, because it helps them in the healing process. Buy food for the homeless person. Cash is often the bad idea of giving them because they might utilize it for drugs and alcohol, but buying a sandwich and chips or something like that is a good gesture. Be respectful and friendly. Lend your ear. Often someone who is sad, depressed, and angry, or even frustrated just needs someone who will listen. Venting and talking through an issue is a huge help to someone else. Help someone on the edge. If someone is suicidal, urge them to get help. If they don't, call a suicide hotline or a doctor yourself to get advice. Help someone get active. A person in your life who wants to get healthy might need a helping hand. Offer to go walking or running together, to join a gym together. Once they get started, it can have a profound effects. Do a chore, something small or big, like cleaning up or washing a car or doing the dishes or cutting the lawn, is a great way to do that. Give a message, only when appropriate, of course, but a message can go a long way to making someone feel better. Send a nice email, just a quick note telling someone how much you appreciate them and how proud you are of them, or how just saying thank you for something they did for you. Show appreciation publicly. Praising someone on the blog, in front of co-workers, in front of family, or in some other public place is a great way to make them feel better about themselves. Donate food. Clean out your cupboard of canned goods, or buying a couple bags of groceries and donate them to a homeless shelter. Just be there when someone you know is in need. Sometimes it's just as good just to be there as anyone else could do. Sit with them, talk to them, help them if you can. Be patient with them. Sometimes people have a difficulty understanding things or learning to do something right away. Learn to be patient with them. Tutor a child. This might be difficult to do today, but often parents cannot afford to hire a tutor for their child in need of help. Call a school or volunteer of your tutoring services. Create a package. Send it over to the troops. Soup, reading material, tea, chocolate, anything you can think a person might need or enjoy when they're out fighting for our freedom. Good for someone who is sick or otherwise in need as well. Also, lend your voice. Often the powerless and homeless and neglected in the world need someone to speak up for them. You don't have to take out the cause by yourself, but join others in signing a petition, speaking up at council meeting, writing letters, and others will make a need heard. Offer to babysit someone's child. Sometimes parents need a break. If a friend or a loved one in your life doesn't get a chance very often, call them and say, listen, I'll watch your child, so you can go out with your husband or your wife. Set up an appointment. It can make a big difference. Just start loving, simply finding ways to express your love to others, whether it be your partner, your child, or other family members, friends, co-workers, or a complete stranger is a good thing. Just express your love, a hug, a kind word. Spending time showing little kindness, being friendly. It all matters when you know how far that little candle throws his beams. So shines a good deed in a weary world. And William Shakespeare wrote that. Folks, it all starts today. Love someone, help someone, be good to someone, and pray to God for a beautiful another day tomorrow. May God bless you.
Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember,